This is why steering and weight placement matters more than power. Same truck, same line, different tests. Let's see if these upgrades actually earn their place in the history books. Right, welcome back everybody. Now we will start another upgrade series, and now the car is the FMS FCX24M Tacoma, the newly released version with a slightly longer wheelbase than the previous iteration. It's more capable, it's better handling car since the car is lower and a bit longer. And this is the first episode of an upgrade series that will go on for some time. I have started with the appearance already. I have painted the bed, I have tinted the windows, I have done some graphics on the hood here. I've also painted the inside of the body. I took everything apart and masked everything off to get some black paint inside the body, since the body is translucent from factory, so the lights and everything shine through. So this makes the car look a bit better when you can't see the red body through the wheel arches and so on. So I think the car looks really good now. And also I added rear lights. So now we have rear lights in the rear buckets and the front lights from the factory. And today we are gonna do the steering upgrade to get away from the flimsy plastic. So we're gonna upgrade it with Batras's brass front steering links to add a few grams, and then we're gonna install a front bumper mount here inside the frame rails, also to add weight up front. So that is the step 1, and step 2 will be to position the battery here at the front, since we have a lot of room here, and this will make the CG move up very much. As we did with the Axial SX24 upgrade series, we will do CG testing and dynamic incline test to see how the car performs after every step, to see the evolution and see how every upgrade changes the vehicle and changes how the vehicle drives. So we will make some effort to do the series step by step and get the statistic right. Alright, now you know how we're gonna set up this series, and like I said, we will start with the CG test and then incline test. So I will reposition, take out the scale and do all the CG measurement, and then do all the weigh-ins so we can write down to get the statistics right. And when we're done with the CG and incline, I will do the install montage of the Batrasi steering links and then the front bumper mount. And after that we will do it all over again, CG and incline test, to see how the car has evolved. Alright, let's do the CG testing. First of all, we will weigh the entire car, and you can see about 349 grams of total weight. And then we will weigh the front axle, and that is 169 grams. So if we take the calculator and take 169 divided by 349, that is 48.4% of front weight. And this is with the battery installed at the stock location. And the back weight is 176 grams. So if we take 176 and divide that by 349, that's 50.2% of rear bias. So out of the box, this vehicle are not set up for crawling like you see. It's more or less set up with a medium paced trail speed in mind. And with that sorted out, we will go over to the dynamic testing. Okay, so we will start with a modest 45 degrees to see how the car handles then. And as you can see, very easy. Alright, 45 was very easy. Now we will try 47.5. The front left is lifting a bit, but the car handle it with ease, I would say. So let's continue. Let's take it up 1.2 degrees more to see how it works then. Yeah, easy. 49.7. but now you will start to see some slippage, and the front axle is lifting quite much. 1 degree more, so 50.6. Okay, so that is also manageable, but now we're really on the limit. Okay, so the final test I think is 51.1. Let's see how the car performs now. And as you can see, the car isn't really want to flip, but the front is really loose and the front left is rising. All right. We did manage it, but the car wanted to flip over after the fact. Alright, one final test, 51.7. Let's see if we can manage it. As you can see, the front is really lifting now, but we're doing it. You see that the wheels are slipping, but we did it. So let's try a few degrees more, or a few tenths more. So I will set it up and be right back. Okay, 52.1. This will be interesting. No. Now we have met our match. Alright, so 51.7 is the max when the car is stock. So with that, we will do all over our improvements, and then we will do this all over again. Alright, a quick CG test before we are continuing. With the steering link installed, the car has gained 9 grams, and we added 10 grams on the front axle, because 9 grams is in front of the axle, so we get a bit of a leverage. So plus 10 grams at the front. We did go from 48.4% front bias to 50 exactly now. So 1.6% just by adding the front links. One thing though, to Batrasi, the tolerances were very tight. I had to file the forks of the steering link just to get it to seat properly. From the start, we did get some binding in the forks here, so the steering couldn't reach full end to end. It stopped it too early because it was too tight, too much friction in the forks here. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you're gonna do the same upgrade. If you have to do a lot of force to get it on the inner portals, then you perhaps should file the forks so you could get the steering to get a lot more fluid. Alright, let's do the install of the front bumper mount. That's even more easy than installing the steering link. We're just removing the 4 screws and installing 2. So let's go. Right. Front bumper mount is installed. Like I said, remove 4, install 2 screws, then you're done. So let's see what the car weighs now with the both brass upgrades. Now 367, I think. Yeah, 367 grams now. So we have added another 9 grams of total weight. So let's see how much the car weighs now on the front axle. 188 grams. So plus 9 grams from the upgraded steering link, and a total of 19 grams from the stock vehicle to now. And if we take 188 divided by 367, we get 51.2% front bias, and the back says 171, and that equates to 46.6%. So the funny thing of a CG is that when we're adding weight in front of the axle, the rear axle is getting lighter, since we have the leverage from the front wheels to the actual weight that equates to the rear lifting. So if we would have added this 19 grams, like 2 decimeters in front of the axle, we would have a lot less weight, and that equates to more front bias in percent. And so that's why we lose weight now, since we have added a lot more weight in front of the axle. And the front bumper mount is perhaps 3-4 centimeters in front of the axle, so that makes the leverage, so we get a lighter rear end, and that's what we want. That's why we're adding weight as forward as we can and as low as we can. Alright, with this sorted out, let's recap. From the stock vehicle weighed 349 grams and had 48.4% front bias. And now with these 2 brass upgrades, we have gained a total weight from, like I said, 349 to 367. And the front weight on the front axle now is 188 grams, and that is 8 grams more than the stock vehicle. And we've gained 2.8% of front bias now, so we're over 50%, 51.2. And now, just for giggles, let's just move the battery to see what's happening, even if we haven't secured it yet. So now we've added 24 grams, so now we have 204 divided by 367, so that's 55.5% just by moving the battery. And if we change the battery to a 900 milliamp battery, these batteries we get in the FCX18, for example, and now we have 230, and the total weight is 390. So 230 divided by 390, that's 59% of front bias now. So you see, you don't have to do a lot to these vehicles to get a 60-40 split. If we would have removed the stock battery tray, the weight is going down even more at the back. So we could easily get 60-40 front bias with this car today. That is really awesome. So I think this platform will be a really good one to get the scale vehicles that will climb really good. And let's say that we change the tires to get them a bit bigger. These ones is scale, but not the best in the handling characteristics. They look really good, but if they would have been a bit bigger, then the crawlability will get even better. So now I will install the stock battery at the stock location, and then we will do the incline tests. And after that we will recap to see what we've done and how the car has evolved and what the next step is. So see you in 1 second. Okay, let's start where we left off last time when we did a tumble. Now let's start to see if we made any difference. So you see the front left is still lifting, but the car is a lot better now on 52.1. So let's add 1 degree, more or less. And as you can see, it does that quite easy as well. Let's try to get it 54 even, 54.1. What I really like about the FMS vehicles is that the speed handling is superb. It really handles perfect. The motor and the ESC is so smooth. And like you see, 54.2 I would say is the max with the upgrades now. And it looks a bit fancy also with the brass, the black and the brass in the front now. Okay, so let's reposition and do the recap and the outro. Okay, I had to do the test with the battery located at the front. So now we have the stock battery, just moved from the back to the front here. And you will see what degree it is after I managed to get up. And as you can see, now the tire is the limiting factor more or less. And as you can see now, 55.2 degrees. So another degree just by moving the battery to the front. And one last test, since I have the 900 milliamp battery, I will reset, insert the 900 and then we will do it again. Alright, now we have the 900 milliamp battery in the front. So let's see what we can manage now. And we're not at 55.1 anymore. As you can see now, 56 degrees we're up to now. So let's get 56.5 on the clock and see if we can get up that. Alright, 56.7 at the moment. Let's see if the tires can get the grip. Yeah, now we would have to upgrade the tires, I would say, if we would want to get up this. 56.2, I would say, with the relocated 900 milliamp battery. So now, let's do the final thoughts. What surprised me wasn't that it climbed better, it's how much easier it was to drive. If we go over the upgrades, the steering feels way more predictable, since we have rigid links now and not plastic that deflects under load. The weight placement mattered more than I expected. Even though we are just adding 19 grams at the front, it really changes how the car behaves. It's a lot easier to drive and you can really feel that the truck tries to maneuver itself over the obstacles. None of these upgrades add power, they remove the problems. Step 1 fixed how the truck responds, and step 2 fixed where the weight works. And there's still more performance in this setup, but that's for another episode. We have a lot more to do with this platform, and I would really recommend these two upgrades. They are very easy to do, they are taking like 5 minutes a piece to make it done, but it really changes how the car performs. Alright, this is exactly why I test upgrades like this. Same line, same truck, one change at a time. Because then you can really see what makes the difference and how it changes the car's behavior. So you can figure out what's more important to do than the other upgrade. So you aren't just slapping on upgrade after upgrade after upgrade and tons of money. I want to know what kind of upgrades makes the biggest difference, so you don't have to have a really heavy car with all the upgrades available on it. That's not what I'm after. I want to pinpoint the upgrades that matters the most. If you also like upgrade videos that actually show why something works, you know what to do. And that's it. we have managed to upgrade another vehicle and showed how the upgrades changed the car. If you enjoyed this upgrade video, hit the like button, subscribe, more RC adventures are on the way. This is Ascend RC. See you in the next video. Bye.